Welcome back to Tbgfl Gaming. Today I will be showing you the teams and players for each team in the Tbgfl Gaming Football League in ACCUS Football 23. The reason I didn't do this in Madden is because you can't create more than one custom team, so that's what I wanted to do. So we're going to just take a look at what we have. We're going to take a look at our teams. So let's go. Let's go to create. We'll go to... Actually, let's go to an expedition game so I can show you teams. These are just random teams that I didn't have time to make. It didn't make. So we're going to show you our teams for this league. None of these teams are our teams. We're going to have to go down a bit more, and I'll tell you when we get getting our teams. All right, the next one we'll start showing our teams. We'll have the Utah Lumberjacks, the Chicago Rams, the Halifax Roosters, the Boston Green Bisons, the Arizona Razerbacks, the New York Sundemons, the Virginia Falcons, the Oklahoma City Sabretooths, the Toronto Stingers, the Oakland Dogpack, the Los Angeles Jaguars, and the Miami Panthers. I know that logo kind of looks bad, but it's okay for now. So those are your 12 teams that will be participating in the league. I have some standings that I'll reveal to you at the very end of the video, and I'll reveal everything else at the end of the video. Now let's take a look at our rosters. Let's go all the way down. So we have our rosters. I'm about to show you them. We're going to go take a look at the roster for the Utah Lumberjacks. So we have our quarterbacks. We have Trevon Dennis, Connor Lee, and Terry Linton. At running back, we have Peyton Bryan, Melvin Nelson, Tristan Cox, Walter Paul. And then at wide receiver, we have Austin Davidson. What was that? That was running back. These are our running backs. Wide receiver, we have Austin Davidson, Manuel Hogan, Damon Powers, Stephen Hayden, Trevor Brooks, Keenan Hunter, and those are our wide receivers. The tight ends, Raymond Lindsay, Davin Stanley, and Juwan Jefferson. On the offensive line, we have Kevin Boyd, Braxton Burns, Ronald Revy, Devin Clean, don't know how to pronounce that last name, Micah Lawrence, Joseph Hogan, Keaton Bush, Bryce Richardson, Ecuador Steves. On the defensive line, we have Fabian Kelly, Kelly Curler, Jonathan Malone, Dante Morin, Darius Stipkit, Abraham Vogue, Marlon Long, Armando Aguilar, and Neil Miller. And then at linebacker, we have Roger Barton, Lance Byard, Roberto Curtis, Carter Knight, Dylan Lawson, Nathan Malone, George Lackey, and Ryan Harvey. At defensive back, we have Brendan Bone, Skylar Bouja, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Ethan Guzman, Miles Clarkey, Tree Stevens, Rudy Mitchell, Troy Graham, Dylan Alvarado, and Daquan Jensen. For kicker, we have Jason Lambert, and for punter, we have Noe Curtis. And though that is the roster for, well, the Utah Lumberjacks. There we go. That's your team that's the Utah Lumberjacks. Now let's go back and let's take a look at our other team. Our next team will be the Chicago Rams. Let's take a look at this roster. We have Logan McDaniel, Cody Bryant, and Harold Moreno. Those are quarterbacks. We have Damon Rowie, Jimmy Schmidt, Dante Gibson, and Jared Oliver. At wide receiver, we have Hector Wade, Larry Rose, Dominic Patrick, Wayne Wartburg, Makiris White, Salvador Dempsey. At tight end, we have Elijah Farmer, Edgar Todd, and Clayton Burton. At offensive line, we have Malik Vasquez, Reginald McCormick, Kenneth Flowers, Jay Gibson, Clayton Cobb, Demetrius Miles, Emmanuel Blair, Ternell Quinn, and Trevor Asardi. On the defensive line, we have Nicholas Newton, Aiden Lawn, Landon Freeman, Simon Ortega, Justin Maxwell, Graham Wright, Angela Walsh, Eric Owen, and Henry Oliver. At linebackers, we got Nelson Accardi, Brendan Warner, Reed Cox, Stephen King, Chad Bailey, Ryan Houston, Maxwell Wilson, and Lance Rice. Defensive back, we have Jamie Mack. There we go. Jamie Mack, Felix Brosh, Emilo Clark, Elliot Gronkowski, Oliver Luttrell, Luke Steele, Guillermo Shaw, Jake Adams, and Ethan Hanlon. Kicker is Raphael Butler, and their punter is Tristan Jenkins. That's the team for the Chicago Rams. I'm going back, and I want to just check if I missed the linebackers for the Utah Lumberjacks, which I did. So Roger Burton, Lance Byard, Roberto Curtis. No, wait, we did these. So now we're going to go to our third team, which is the Halifax Roosters. Take a look. We have Forrest Cole, Bailey Yates, and Darrell Foster. Running back, we have Evan Pleasant, Joshua Newman, Keaton Craig, and Eduardo Brewer. At wide receiver, you have Sergio Johnson, Isaac Black, Ivan Shelton, Miles Wash, Sean Warner, and Colin Guzman. At tight end, we have Adam Morrison, Eric Gross, and Owen Lucas. At offensive line, we have Abraham Bruno, Raphael Griffith, Jamie Barnes, Jonathan Christianessen, Cade Morales, Arthur Norman, Bruce Bridges, Dwayne Warner, and Zachary Arnold. At defensive line, we have Bruce Grant, Devontae Campbell, Zachary Bush, Xavier Hogan, Braden Yarboe, Bo McLaughlin, Arturo Ross, Spencer Silva, and Connor Greer. At linebacker, we have Preston Brugris, Carl Figueroa, Scott Haynes, Ty Horton, Lane Fort, DeAndre Sullivan, Bailey Alexander, Scott Coper. At D-back, we have Devontae Watkins, Esteban Walters, Drake Allison, Glenn Bennett, Nolan Rudolph, Adrian Dunton, Mark Simpson, Nathan Gross, and Andrew Leonard. And then at kicker, we have Jonathan Gross. And at punter, we have Zane Bowers. I think that's a good team. Set changes. Go back to editing team. And let's go to our next team, the Boston Green Bisons. For roster, we have our quarterbacks. We have Henry Popey, Maxwell Reed, and Chandler Christian. And running back, we have Jason Ritchie, Tony Castro, Troy Willis, and Marcus Hamrick. At wide receiver, we have Heaven Pernix, Jamal Kelly, Walter Rodriguez, Jamie Beckham, Galvin Olsen, and Gage Graham. At tight end, we have Cameron Day, Nathaniel White, and Wesley Stanley. At offensive line, we have Jesse Bates, Hugo Carmelo, Rodolfo Hamrick, Diego Hodges, Albert Stone, Saul Dunton, Christopher Nugent, Carl Hunt, Michael Mason. At defensive line, we have Carson Chandler, Jace Webster, Theodore Nguyen, Kendrick Jensen, Andre Armstrong, John Clanny, Cameron Byard, Simon Newman, and Marcus Morton. At linebacker, we have Bradley Watkins, Paul Romo, Raymond Floyd, Ian Tucker, Jonah Underwood, Jason Berkey, Ariel Hunt, Martin Gonzalez. At defensive back, we have Patrick Massey, Jeffrey Pierce, Donald Mendoza, Joshua McKenzie, Melvin Mitchell, Jamie Cole, Lewis Andrews, Ronald Gardner, Elliot Holloway. At kicker, we have Dennis Rivera, and at punter, we have Carl Thomas. Next team will be page 6 this time. The Arizona Razorbacks roster consists of Jonathan Carpenter, Elias Newman, and Wyatt Butchin, Grayson Strickland, Cameron Lacey, Jaquan Miles, and Sam Austin. At wide receiver, we have Zachariah Simons, Eli Colwin, Quincy Kellen, Luke Francis, Donald Sanchez, Stephen Graves. Tight end, we have Keaton Beck, Morgan Crawford, and Darren Duncan. At O-line, we have Bobby Larson, Colin Richard, Wayne Wallace, Hugo Roslenberger, Stanley Lee, Willie Ho, Trevon Jefferson, Preston Hugon, Cody Romo. At D-line, we have Donald Ross, Terrell Haney, Damon Johnson, Colin Henniger, Jaquan Perez, Washington Warren, Rodney Warren, Marvin Mendez, Nicholas Scott, Corey Thornton. At linebacker, we have Cole Witt, Colin Ferguson, Emilio Bennett, Stanley Elliott, Pedro Walton, Cooper Garza, Drake Benson, and Philip Sparks. At defensive back, we have Marquise Robinson, Jacob Wood, Isaac Sparks, Philip Dempsey, Rudy Reves, Stephen Coleman, Braxton Cook, Deangello Woods, Zachary Perkins. At kicker, we have Jason Thomas, and at punter, we have Omar Dixon. That looks like it could be a good team. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see who wins it in the end. The New York Sundemons, like this team. Clayton Thomas, Tristan Mathis, and Corey Herrera. Liam Curry, Charles Bryant, Damon Nelson, and Darius Wise. Calvin Bennett, Leonard Scott, Trone Santiago, Franklin Paul, Connor Berkey, Dwayne Harper. Tight end will be Rogilo Curtin, Jose Stanley, and Devontae Morrison. At O-line, we have Jerry Todd, Wayne Harris, Denzel Flores, Jonathan Webster, Andrew Elliott, Garrett Richards, Malcolm Wise, Calvin Sanders, Garrett Jennings, and that's it. At D-line, we have Marioso Walters, Quinn Hale, Ian May, D'Angelo Mariota, Marcos Parsons, Marshall Townsend, Braxton Reeves, Joel Moss, Jamie Stepik. Linebacker, we have Garrett Barnett, Dwayne Watt, Manuel Cook, Brandon Dunn, Dallas Silva, Kian Nunez, Marcos Morales, and Jason Flowers. D-back, we have Kenal Payton, Adrian Charles, Ryan Hunter, Ernesto Henry, Connor Edmonds, DeAndre Moreno, Jordan Hart, Matthew Gronkowski, and Marcus Grant. At kicker, we have Ashton Gear, and at punter, we have Edgar Santos. And we'll go to our next team, which is the Virginia Falcons. We have, after this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more rosters to reveal, so let's do this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Roster. Tyler Blair, Demetrius King, Darren Harper, Parker Shaw, Harrison Ho, Marcos Fisher, Caleb Foster, Jose Rhodes, Devon Harrison, Cedric Alexander, Marco Graham, Gilbert Cadwell, and Greg Cobb. Jermaine Can, Sebastian Santiago, and Austin Frazier are your tight ends. At O-line, we have Miles Glenn, Quincy Glenn, Mills Casey, Preston Wilson, Terrence Gomez, Juan Burns, Troy Hayes, Allie Horton, and Dante McKinney. D-line, we have Billy Stokes, Jesse Poole, Brian Roethlisberger, Davis Harmon, Lee Figueroa, Kenneth Bryant, Andres French, Davis Ramirez, and Edgar Erickson. Linebacker, we have Kendall Kelly, Cody Rodriguez, Ross Accardi, Desmond Evans, Tyler O'Brien, Jonah Ellis, Dylan Cunningham, Peter Miller. D-back, we have Jerome Bowen, Simon Hamilton, Michael Riley, Todd Reves, Devin Cannon, Demick Riley, Brady Brooks, Paul Osborne, and John Harris. Our kicker is Russell Paul, and our punter is Nathaniel Chandler. Oh wait, let's go back to Team Suite. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, the Oklahoma City Sabretooths. This is the team that I'm in love with. Jonathan Hunt, Cody Shelton, and Edward Robbins. I love the logo, that's why I like him. Gregory Haynes, Drake Patton, Chase Cooper, and Colin Mullins. We have Tyrell Brandt, Patrick Fraser, Nathaniel Grunt, Jonathan Roethlisberger, Cooper Wheeler, Dendre May, Jeremy Powers, Daquan Dixon, and Israel Stokes. Larry Wilkins, Jacob Luck, Enrique Wilkerson, Sam Ritchie, Alexis Evans, Sergio Stone, Guo Ermeno Hampton, Kyle Cook, Edwin Moss, Ethan Day, Keaton Fisher, Alex Alvarez, Brent Sparks, Jorge Bowen, Ronald Fries, Brent Ramirez, Corbin Carter, and Esteban Herman. Linebacker, we have Douglas Ho, Chad Lawrence, Marshall Atkins, Dallas Cruz, Jose Tucker, Deion Carson, Jonathan Morrison, and Clay Curtis. D-back, we have Edwin Morris, David Byard, Justin Lacey, Caleb Stone, Nicholas Gear, Logan Gogel, Seth Kelly, Derek Alvarado, and Gavin Ramos. Kicker is Calvin Holt, and at punter we have Rodney Fox. Okay, let's keep going. Toronto Stingers. We have Jacob Webster, Joey Accardi, Tyson Roy, Carlos Day, Randall Yates, Brock French, Bryce Lackey, Marcus Schwartz, Isaiah McDaniel, Matthew Rodriguez, Trone Bryan, Angelo Price, Sebastian Mendoza, Kean Strickland, Gilbert Singleton, Ian Sullivan, Alfred Powers, Tristan Doyle, Dante Bryant, Ecuadaro Brewer, Noah Jimenez, Samuel Chancellor, Francisco Fraser, Bradley Matthews, and Mert Tran. D-line, Terrence Ford, Avery Tate, Francis Park, Ray Dunton, Joel Padilla, Riyad Perfin, Keegan Mann, Omar Summers, Devin Dixon, Ecuadaro Mason, Jalen Welch, Adam Schultz. Oh my gosh, this is just annoying. Okay. Roberto Williams, Duncan Revs, Ashton Parks, Douglas Moody, and Melvin Humphrey. Oh, I dropped my controller. Ecuador Mason, John Benson, Bradley Witt, Wesley Walton, Devin Bruno, Nicholas Gardner, Harry Crawford, Ali Hampton, Adam Sharp, and Asaveludu Garner. Kicker, we have Dominic Bradley and Joey Clayton. Here we go. We have the Oakland Dogpack. Final three teams. We have Craig Vasquez, Alan Hubbard, Larry Cortez, Diego Chasler, Nolan Jordan, Neil Collins, Brandon Borgie, Marcus Clayton, Skylar Rodriguez, Julian Holt, Randall Sims, Wyatt Gibbs, Robert Gross. Then we have Marcus Lawrence, Jordan Jennings, and Stephen Mullins. Raekwon Lawson, Reed Ritchie, Thomas Tinsdale, Marlon Vasquez, Francisco Drake, Sergio Witten, Julio Howell, Devin Warner, and Reed Vasquez. Tristan Corner, Carl Coleman, Jared Barker, Cameron Vargas, Dakota Berglas, Stanley Gronkowski, Harrison Hanlon, Philip Neal, Malcolm Rogers, Jeffrey Cadwell, Liam Litton, Grayson Chasler, Andrew Todd, Gary Burton, Marcos Patton, Rudy Henderson, Eric Cox. Kenny Andrews, Leo Pratt, Gary Gronkowski, Sol Park, Dustin Tucker, Evan Burns, Alexis Ellis, Alec Bujaga, Cody Lloyd, Keith Weaver, and Elias Wash. Okay, two more teams, Jags and the Panthers. We have the Los Angeles Jaguars up next. Manuel Murphy, Ricky Chu, Noel Richards, Chance Todd, Rena O'Brien, Caesar Gardner, Jorge Pena, Marvin Douglas, Owen Love, Malik Castillo, Dwayne Witten, Devontae Day, Gilberto Ireland, Edgar Steele, Drake Jennings, and Garrett Nelson, Zane Dempsey, Brad Hunter, Eddie Harrison, Alessandro Yates, Joe Critton, Alfonso Winston, Gage Butler, Madison Henderson, and Braden Mason, Eddie Williams, Philip Wright, Antonio Graham, Ryan Rivez, David Weber, Ruben Lawrence, Noel Day, Rudy Sharp, and Demetrius Lau. At linebacker, Dane Flo, Nathan Ireland, Trevor Austin, Walter Mayer, Benjamin Price, Rudy Tate, Alfred Newton, Clay Roy, Rudy Lang, Jared Webb, Dallas Montgomery, Jerry Gross, Tristan Montgomery, Malik Cunningham, Jorge Newton, Corey Alexander, Douglas Holland. Kicker, we have Damon Nguyen and Mackenzie Cortez. That was fast. We did that fast. The Miami Panthers, in my opinion, the worst logo in the entire league. Xavier Rogers, Alvin Soto, Charlie Swartz, Andre Fields, Garrett James, Jason Wilkins, Jason Ballard, Daniel McDaniel, Randall Goodman, Carlos Morin, Weston Lloyd, Dean Oliver, Eric Padilla, Philip Murray, Micah Walsh, Tony Curry, Jace Rodriguez, Esteban French, Danielo Hernandez, Eddie Beck, Oscar Jacobs, Jordan Revies, Nolan Mariota, Marco Griffin, Carl Lyons, Alvin Lawson, Skylar Matthews, Caleb Tucker, Brody Reeves, Pablo Witten, Harold Huff, Emilio Hunter, Rudy Blair, Jamal Mann, Elliot Perkins, Dan Gellod Evans, Bo Ross, Abel Dempsey, Kyle Walton, Raymond Soto, Carson Watkins, Corbin Stokes, Devin Rudolph, Randall Byard, Eli Norris, Chandler Manning, Jerome Riley, Ariel Nicholas, Tommy Campbell, Dominic Santos, Malik Cooper, Ronnie Weaver, and finally, Devin Bush. That's all the team's rosters now. And I'm going to kind of tell you a bit about the league. And just after all that, I want to just talk to you a bit. So the playoffs are going to go like this. So we have two conferences. We have the Speed Conference and we have the Gaming Conference. We have the Fast Division, the Slow Division, the Sports Games Division, and the Minecraft Division. And then there's 3 teams in each division. I have it on my notes pad, so I'm just gonna need to go get that real quick. Let's see. Just need to get my notes ready. I'll show you in a second who we got in each division, and I'll take a look. All right, here we go. The standings. I'll take a look. I'll show you them. We have in the fast division the Oakland Dogpack, the Utah Lumberjacks, and the Oklahoma City Sabretooths. In the slow division, we have the Jaguars, the Panthers, and the Rams. And that's the speed conference. In the gaming conference, we have in the sports games division, we have the Razerbacks, Bisons, and Sundemons. And in the Minecraft division, we got the Roosters, Stingers, and Falcons. So what I'm going to tell you is, the winners from each division make the playoffs as the 1 and 2 seeds in both respective divisions. I said there was only going to be 16 playoff, changed it to 8. My bad. I just made up my mind again. So we have wild card places too. So the speed conference wild card and the gamer conference wild card. The top two wild card teams also make the playoffs. We have the losers championship too. For the 4 teams that didn't make the playoffs, they'll play in the losers championship, which you want to win. If you don't make it to the real playoffs, you want to win the losers championship, because then you can switch a division with another team. I'll spin a randomizer wheel and I'll get a division. Then I'll spin another randomizer wheel and I'll get a team. Those 2 teams will switch divisions, and that will be what we have to do for the next season. I think that was a good rule because you can't create a new player to add into the game. So instead of a draft, that's what we're gonna do. Because I'm playing this all in mini expedition modes, as you see here. I'm playing it in spectate. So yeah. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do it, and I can reveal to you the week 1 matchups they'll be played on for Saturday. We'll have these 3 games will be played on Saturday. The Razerbacks at Sabretooths, Bisons at Stingers, and Panthers at Dogpack will all be played on next Saturday. And then on the Sunday right after it, so the 19th. So the first 3 will be on the 18th. The next 3 are on the 19th. We'll have the Lumberjacks at Rams, the Roosters at Sundemons, and the Falcons at Jaguars. That's our week 1 matchups. So I hope you guys will enjoy this little mini series. I'm going to do this I want to have this to be like a regular thing on the channel every single week, 18 games long. I haven't told you about the schedule. So you play each team in your division 3 times. Each team in the conference, in the other conference in your division twice, and every team in the other conference once. So that's how we're going to do it, but I'm going to have to wrap things up for today's video. I'll see you on the 18th for our first slate of games, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.